What if I told you that almost none of your thoughts today are actually new? Not your worries, not your self-criticism, not even the stories you keep telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Most of what you call thinking is actually just your mind hitting replay on something it recorded a long time ago. Once you can actually tell the difference between a real thought and a rerun, something shifts. You stop being run by your mind and start being able to actually run it. In this video, I'm gonna show you the 4 types of thoughts that every single one of your thoughts fits into. And once you can spot which one you're in, you'll never experience your own mind the same way again. Let's dive in. Hi, welcome back, Alchemist. I call you that on purpose because the work we do here isn't about managing your mind. It's about optimizing and transforming it. Taking the exact material that's been running you, the fear, the doubt, the old stories, and alchemizing those into your highest potential, your true self. That's what we're doing together here on this channel. In the last video, we talked about the witness, the part of you that's aware of your thoughts rather than being lost inside them. If you haven't watched that one yet, go watch it because everything today is going to build directly on it. Because now that you know how to witness a thought, it's time to actually understand what you're witnessing. So here's something wild, and studies on this vary, but research says that up to 95% of your thoughts today, you've already thought before. Not similar thoughts, the actual same exact thought. The same worry, the same self-criticism, the same story. Your mind really isn't generating fresh material most of the time. It's running on loop. And once you understand this, I want to give you a simple framework. 4 categories every single thought you have will fall into. This comes from yogic psychology, but I promise you, once you hear it, you'll recognize it instantly in your own mind. The first type of thought is truth. This is a thought that's simply accurate, valid, factual, the way things actually are. The stove is hot, it is raining. These are rare and they're usually neutral. They don't come with a lot of emotional charge. The second type of thought is misconception. This is when your mind perceives something that's false as true. You believe a story about yourself or your situation, fully convinced it's fact, when it's actually just an interpretation. For example, I'm bad at relationships, or I'll never have enough money. These feel like truth, but they're not the truth. They're conclusions built on old evidence, often evidence that isn't even relevant anymore. The third type of thought is imagination. These are thoughts about the past or the future, replaying what happened or rehearsing what might happen. Neither of these actually exist right now. They only exist in the mind. The fourth type of thought is memory. And this is the big one, 95%. Most of what feels like present moment thinking is actually memory, a thought you've had in some form before. Sometimes it's an actual memory. Often it's a thought pattern, a groove your mind has worn so deep that it just runs on autopilot now, disguised as something you're thinking for the first time. Now let's look at why this shows up everywhere across totally different traditions. In yogic philosophy, this idea of the mind being dominated by memory connects directly to something called samskara, an energetic impression like a groove worn into a muddy dirt road from driving the same path again and again. Every time you think a thought or take an action from attachment, it deepens that groove. And the deeper the groove, the more automatically your mind falls into it the next time, which is exactly why the same thoughts keep showing up disguised as something new. Now look at neuroscience and you'll find the same discovery in different language. Neural pathways work almost identically. A thought pattern that's fired enough times becomes what's essentially a superhighway in the brain. The brain, because it's wired for efficiency, will default to that superhighway instead of building a new road every single time, unless you consciously interrupt it. That's neuroplasticity, and it's describing the same mechanism as a samskara, just through the lens of biology instead of energy. And even in Christian contemplative tradition, there's this idea of being renewed by the transformation of your mind, the recognition that your natural, unexamined thinking will simply repeat itself unless something deliberately interrupts and renews it. 3 completely different frameworks, same discovery. Left unchecked, your mind runs on repeat. And the way out isn't more willpower, it's awareness of which type of thought you're actually in. So let's practice this together live. Bring to mind something that's been on your mind lately. A worry, a story about yourself, anything with a little bit of charge to it. Don't pick the biggest thing in your life right now. Choose something medium-sized, just enough to work with. Got it? Good. Now, sit comfortably, close the eyes, and tune inward. Begin to soften the physical body, release tension from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. Good. Now notice the natural breath. And then tune into the mind. From the witness perspective, remember that place that simply watches, doesn't judge. Ask yourself, is this thought truth? Is it something factually, objectively accurate right now in this exact moment? Or is it imagination? Is it pulling you into the past, replaying something, or dragging you into the future, rehearsing something that hasn't happened? Is it misconception? Is there conclusion buried in there? Like, I always, I never, or I can't. Something that feels like fact, but is actually just a story your mind has decided is true. And finally, is it memory? Does this thought feel familiar? Have you had some version of this same exact thought before? Many times before. Now come back to notice the breath and the physical body where it rests. Gently blink open the eyes. An invitation to jot down what you noticed. It's likely that, if you're being honest with yourself, this thought is going to land in memory, sometimes wrapped up in misconception. And that's actually incredible information, because memory isn't prophecy. It's not evidence of what's true or what has to keep happening. It's just a groove, and grooves can be redirected. Here's how to use this outside the video and in your daily life. Next time a thought hits you with a lot of emotional charge, anxiety, shame, frustration, before you believe it, before you react to it, just pause and ask, which type of thought is this? Is it true? Is it based on fact? Or could it be a misconception? Is it based in past thinking or future thinking? Imagination? Is it memory? Is it a thought I've had before? That single question creates a gap. And in that gap, you go from being run by the mind to being the one running it. I'll give you an example. Let's say the thought is, I always mess things up. In that moment, ask, is this the truth? Do I actually always mess things up? No, that's just an interpretation, a misconception. Is it also a memory? Almost certainly. It's a groove, probably worn in a long time ago, maybe even in childhood, way before you had the capacity to even question it. Once you see it as a memory instead of truth, you get to choose differently. Not by forcing positivity, just by no longer mistaking an old recording for reality. If this shifted something for you, if you're starting to notice how much of your own thinking is just reruns, I want to invite you into something. I built a completely free 7-day path called Optimize the Mind. And this exact practice, identifying the 4 types of thoughts, is one of the core days inside. It walks you day by day from becoming the witness all the way through to understanding your mind's patterns and building a practice that actually rewires them. You'll be part of a supportive community where you can ask questions and get advice. You can click the link below and come join us. I'd love to see you inside. And if this helped you see your own mind a little differently, please subscribe, send it to someone who could benefit, and tell me in the comments, which type of thought do you think runs the show for you the most? I read every single one. Thanks so much for being here. Okay? Love you. Bye.